I have to shake off some nerves, kind of do that activity that Kari did. So maybe we're going to try to wave together a little bit, like a wave, like water. See, up and down. So this song is called Rollin. And we're just going to roll for a little minute. Rollin'. Um, See, where do you start when one talks about movement? Do I get you to move in a circle like me? I said, please, move in a circle like me. I said, please, move in a circle like me. As you're falling, another side to being human. Do I get you to tell you about the fall and rise to my storyline, or how it intertwines with Sagel's fulfillment strings and melodies align? The momentum, the movement that got to this incline. Do I rap it all real fast, show you how the cadences and differences got me to this rhyme? When I first got asked to speak about movement, and I knew it was a global theme, I thought the presenter would be a dancer, right? Cue the beat, the wonderful dancers in that video, and quickly wanted to write back to the Creative Mornings team and let them know I am not a dancer. But I wish I was. I tried to shake off the imposter syndrome and then jotted some ideas, a little brainstorm. Movement. And thought of body. And that's a complicated one. The relationship and love I've had to care and give to and realize for my body, that's more than 20 minutes, but I hope to be invited again to talk about it. See, for the past 2 minutes, I've moved you all into my subconscious mind to finally decide what I wanted to talk about today. Let me introduce this body and brain you're witnessing. I go by several names: D, Missy, Missy D, Diane, Didi, or Diane. Familiar maybe and new to many, thank you for listening with an open heart, mind, body, and soul to my Creative Morning session. Joining you today from the unceded, traditional, and ancestral lands of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam peoples, and honoring the caretakers of the lands that you're on. There is no Black liberation without Indigenous sovereignty. There is no Black liberation movement without Indigenous sovereignty. We're interconnected. We need each other. We move together. We need more, and we need solidarity. I'm not always sure about what my next steps will be along my life journey or what my overthinking will result in, but I'm sure about how present my heart feels right now. See, I have a degree in science. And when you think about science and the heart, you think about that movement, how it moves and moves nutrients across the blood and bringing nutrients to various parts of your body, or just how nervous my heartbeat feels right now. That's life. That's movement. That's creativity. I've moved a lot in my life. I've made moves, and my creative life is full of movements. From my 9 to 5, my 5 to 9, and even now, on April 14, 2023, I often sing to myself my version of A Tribe Called Quest to get ready. I say, can I do it right? Y'all say, yes, yes, we can. Can we do it right? Yes, yes. Can we do it right? Yes, yes, yes. Can we do it right? Call and response is one of hip-hop's many movements. The between you and I is what I move with today. And for today, I will try to move in my own style and explain what M is for movement, but it connects to the M that is for Missy D. Like a page in my diary, let's add a date. June 24, 2003. At the time, I was counting down the months and minutes till I would turn 12. 6.1 more months to be exact. 11-year-old me was ready to sing that "Can We Do It Right? Yes, yes, we can." My creative story starts with a heart, with that steady heartbeat. The first time I fell in love with music. Music was so fine. It moved with a certain cadence, a certain elegance. We didn't even speak the same language, and I still understood it. It made my heart flutter as I saw my family smile. Car rides I made 90 minutes feel like a short mile. Groovy Sundays, or just alone dancing in my room with my feelings. It was real. Learning about hip hop, its elements and the culture and the movement was everything. It feels, it felt, it was, it is like liberation. It was liberating my voice, moving it from my heart to my brain, to the mic, into the room. I think some of us are often seeking that thing that moves us. For me, maybe it moved me because I was out of my comfort zone. Like Didi, 11-year-old shy kid that got on stage and sang her first rap. Dans ton hip-hop, le microphone, c'est comme le téléphone. Dans ton hip-hop, le microphone, c'est comme le téléphone. Hip-hop was another way to communicate. Just like a telephone, the microphone moves my frequencies into a sound, into a voice, into a feeling, shape-shifting into something. Maybe it moved me literally to a different school with no English vocabulary, but music was our muse, a conversation starter, the thing that moved me from the back of the classroom to the front of that stage. Through it all, I was ready to move and become a news anchor, a pediatrician, get a dog, graduate from high school on June 10, 2010, or get into university. So I moved. And someone asked, "Where are you from?" Okay, so I was born in Rwanda, raised in Ivory Coast, lived in Montreal, went to school in Zimbabwe with summers in Congo, Brazzaville, and Burkina Faso, and now I'm in Turtle Island. I've moved and introducing myself during icebreakers. I had to find a way to summarize that journey. I decided my close friends call me D, so call me D, short and sweet. I flew by myself for over 24 hours on August 14, 2010. I had packed 2 luggages and was ready to move into my dorm. It sounded something like this. 2 flights, 2 luggages, separated from the ones you love. To learn some knowledge, is it? Take that chance you have in your hands. Privilege and make yes all you can. Quickly realizing I had an extra luggage that moved with me. Music. It made me nostalgic. I could bring it along as I got lost on my way to class. Apparently, my creativity stood still. Paused at times, but trust. It moves with you. I was ready to shy away from my high school identity, to be honest. It followed me here, found itself in my fun facts, and suddenly a graduation stage welcoming and orienting thousands of new students to the moves that they were going to make in their higher education journey. Movement brings perspectives, like moving an object. It lifts off the dust on your guitar or your painting. That was September 7, 2014 for me. The unexpected extra semester that changed my life, made me fall in love with music even more, and reminded me that 8,000 lights moving together was something that maybe I always dreamed of doing. Movement shakes my writer's block on the 99 bus line, and for me and for you, I'm asking you to think about what moved you this morning. Who, when, why, what moved with you? Imagine as you step into a biology classroom, into the cafeteria, onto a graduation stage, or into this room. At first, it was Diane, with a Bachelor of Science, combined major in science, specialized in life sciences, environmental science, and statistics. See, I learned in class that rhythm was the space in between the boom and the bap. That's movement. For me, music back then was a smooth linear move. I was thinking, okay, forget that. I'm going to learn the study of movement. I think you call it kinesiology, public health, or even become a pediatrician. And suddenly it shifted. Long before I knew, I got introduced to Missy D again and Lady Gems, like Sejo, my dearest friend, all close to my graduation, May 13, 2015. This should have been the end. This is my program completion letter. But come to find out, Missy D is for the children. One of my aunts growing up often told me, you have this power to move a room. I never understood what she really meant fully. Movement seems invisible at times. I often felt invisible. Heard but not listened. Know and not really know, but different and making that difference. I am, and I was looking for belonging, trying to move, to fit in. I've come to understand that movement she was referring to is not fully captured by those five senses. I want to call it a feeling. Perhaps this speech will move somebody, will move you to create, to reflect, or to simply move in a circle like me that's rolling, inspiring you to come back again through the ups and downs, ebbs and flow of life, or your own created life. Didi used to sing, 1, 2, 3, on ira, on y va. No. 1, 2, 3, nous irons au bois. That's a nursery rhyme that helps kids learn how to count in French. Numbers and music have always been on my path. Maybe this is why it moved me and eventually became what I studied, and now I sing about. Nas, Missy D's 1, 2, 3, on y va, on y va. Ma case départ. See, Diane wanted to help and heal kids. Ended up being Missy D, teaching youth about the power of creativity. 2017's D, supporting and empowering students in their career development and community building. I was back at UBC on unceded Musqueam land, calling this movement my daily life, like Kari said, that 9 to 5 as Missy D, or as D, and that 5 to 9 as Missy D and Lady Jams. Creativity was collaborative with a team of dedicated educators, friends, family, bringing to life my statistics degree by animating a space, virtually designing an opening ceremony for thousands of first-year students, to moving a green room or a phone conversation onto an IG Live platform and calling it Missy D Interviews. Maybe I'm a news anchor after all. It's not always been moves, though. Let me not lie. Let me not speak for 20 minutes. I've been making moves all my life. No. Sometimes you stand still. Sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you freeze. The pandemic made me still, grieve alone, more sad than I like to admit. Sometimes I think moves are making you move internally. Movement is reflection. At times externally, by sharing it. Didi had to figure out her first steps for me, so I could start again after this pandemic. Diane was trying to make moves. I don't really care about what you think, what you did, or what you say. I don't really care about how you think I should wear my hair. I don't really care about how you think the odds are against us. We'll be making moves, yeah. We'll be making moves, yeah. It doesn't matter if the odds are against us. The systems that oppress us, we'll be making moves. I move with my identity in this world. At the time, sometimes it pauses, sometimes it marches, sometimes it doesn't move. It creates movement. The imposter syndrome that shows up and appears, even as I write the speech, it moved with me. It moves with us. And sometimes it changes us. It creates change. But movement does not mean productivity. Since October 2021, Sometimes, if you find me around, I sit down with wonderful African scholars and talk about the moves they've made. Taking some time to reflect about their skills, their strengths, and the moves they want to make for themselves and their communities. In my everyday term, that's resumes, cover letters, interview practice, informational interviews with D. I always say, and you can find it on my LinkedIn, I'm always rooting for you. So if you're listening to this today, know that I'm always care and in spirit with you, moving along your journey and rooting for you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, there is no real conclusion to movement. I was trying to finalize the speech and I was like, okay, what do I tell them at the end? Wrap it up and tell them my ending messages. But movement has no conclusion. Like Sejal beautifully sang, it's like water. Like rap says, it flows. That's why maybe this thread of hip hop has been moving along with me. It has helped me move from a shy kid to a science degree, to a stage, to a community, to an office, to a voice, to a heart, and to an art. Maybe it's serendipitous that every year I come up with a word for myself, for my year. 2022 was embrace. And in January 1st, 2023, I was like, hanging out maybe with Sejal. I was like, what's going to be my word this year? Okay, Sejal, what are we going to do this year? Okay, motion. That's my 2023 word, motion. It feels poetic that I'm here speaking about movement. Yes, movement can be present. I feel momentum. I feel movement. I feel and want to move in these different areas and facets of my life and hope that my story reminds you that you can stand still and create. Move in every shape, form, or format that you want. Think again. What moves you? What moves with you? Think about what moved with you this morning. Creativity can be revolutionary. It can be resistance. It can be healing, authentic, challenging you and those around you. All those names I mentioned, Dee, Diane, Missy D, Diane, I am all those names. I am here with you, mind, body, and soul. That is movement to me. Movement is time, steps, trials, the space in between, that rhythm moves. So, my message is shift at your own pace. Remember that 1, 2, 3, on y va, on y va. Yes, yes, you can. You'll be making moves. Home or home away from home. Maybe rolling or falling like a human. Empowering your community, intersectionalities, indigenous solidarity. Movement is your creation. Movement is your environment. Movement is you. Some say it starts at the roots, underneath, underground. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to move you with a new song. A song I just wrote about 48 hours ago. And I thought about what is something that I usually would never do, is maybe sing a song that I'm not moving through fully now, but I'm going to move alongside with you. And this song is called Underground. And then when I was writing it, I thought I should call this song Movement so I can sing about movement. And eventually, I came to find out when I finishing the song that I had to dig deeper to finally realize what movement meant to me. And sometimes that's going underground, that's going underneath. And I think that's what this song means to me. So let's set this up. And I'm chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing away. I'm working and working and working and working and working away. I'm chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing my dreams. I'm working and working and working and working and working away. I'm in trouble. Not what you expect, is she a rapper? No, I don't fit your standards. Tryna make it pass, sit back and relax. I'ma make space for us. Step into my shoes, step into my shoes. Dancing to the tunes, dancing to the tunes. As we fly into the moon where we're the real lose. My idea about to do, I'm just ready to bloom. This is underground now. The type of beat that make your heart pound. Bring a little sweat as you react now. Head shaking, ground breaking, this is underground again. This is underground now. The type of beat that make your heart pound. Bring a little sweat as you react now. Head shaking, ground breaking, this is underground again. Si un petit pas et on avance. Laisse-moi aller quand j'y pense. C'est incroyable, c'est juste, c'est quoi, c'est pas possible. C'est le grand espoir, c'est magique. C'est la case départ, c'est béni, ça va de soi. Comme le type of time to take a chance. This is the sound of the dreamers. If you feel it, dance, baby steps and land into your moment. Say, go, go, go. Hey, this is when the crowd goes insane. You're on different stages, dreaming for the world to change. Underground, about to go mainstream. Go, go, go. Hey, this is when the crowd goes insane. You're on different stages, dreaming for the world to change. Underground, about to go. This is underground now. The type of beat that make your heart pound. Break a little sweat as you react now. Head shaking, ground breaking. This is underground again. This is underground now. The type of beat that make your heart pound. Break a little sweat as you react now. Head shaking, ground breaking. This is underground breaking. Go like this. Say. I'm chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing my dream. I'm working and working and working and working and working away. That's the sound of movement. That's you, that's me, that's us. Change, shift at your own pace, but remember to pause. Remember to breathe. Remember to feel. Remember to move. Thank you.
The Q&A. Do we have questions for Sage LRD? Let's just see. Did anything come up in your circles that you were chatting with, or anybody have a question that you would ask for the good of the group? Marga's got the mic.
Hi, ladies. That was amazing. Both of you blew my mind. Thank you. You both did your own thing today. How do you work together musically or in life, in friends, and whatever?
Thank you for that question. I'll start, Sejal, you take it away. We've known each other since first year of university. We've always wanted to work together. She lived across the floor, well, the same floor, but across the room. And we were like, one day we'll jam, and we never jammed. And 3 years later, we actually jammed and became friends. And then fast forward to almost 10 years later, we're making music together as Lady Jams. So you didn't hear me, but when she was performing I Know These Songs, I was in the back trying to harmonize and trying to stay quiet, because I was like, this is Sejal's day.
Hello? Oh, okay. Oh, is this? Ah, there we go. I was gonna ask her, I'm like, hey, you wanna do the harmonies for my songs? And I was like, no, she's got like a 20-minute speech she's gotta give. I'll leave her alone. But I was also like trying to sing my harmonies when she's like saying her lyrics in her speech. I was like, let me sing my harmonies. This is not my time. I'm just gonna put this away for now. Just listen, Sejal, just listen. But yeah, so we've been playing music together since 2014, and it's, yeah, I don't know, it's like the root and the foundation of my life as an adult, understanding how to love and how to be loved and how to have that like unconditional love and support in our crafts for each other. That's why I'm here today, and I can even do this thing on my own, is because like I have this like foundation of a friendship and love that that supports me to go do this, and we support each other. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want to add something to Sejal's I was, when you finish a presentation, you're like, oh, I forgot to mention this thing. And I think I probably skipped a slide, and I was like, I wanted to say movement is collaborative.
Yeah.
Movement is amongst like my journey as myself, and all these slides had my picture and maybe 8,000 people. Movement is often collaborative and it's collective, and I think that's how you create a movement. And that's what Sejal has been for me in my life.
Thank you very much. I'm Shiraz. I'm the creator of Grandparents Film Festival, and I'm always interested in movement in terms of, when I heard about it, I thought you are going to talk a lot about the solidarity movement and the social justice movement, and then you wonder, for example, I find that the opposite of it is freeze. Mm-hmm. Either you move or you freeze, and be in the freezer if you can, dead or alive. But my question is, as you get older, you find that, for example, I'm 75, people think I should freeze now. And I don't, that's why I'm here. But I was wondering, in terms of your solidarity work with indigenous people and African, because I was born in Africa and I know Zimbabwe very well, Magadi. So I was wondering, your solidarity, what are the challenges you face, and not with police, but any other groups as well? Because for us to see a policeman, you run, right? You don't move, you move away, right? Thank you.
I think, to me, I would reframe from even saying it's freezing. I think, if I want to talk about that side of movement, it would be another 20 minutes, maybe another hour, maybe life's work. I feel like it's been a life's work, or trying to understand the different movements that have come about, the movements that I want to join, the movements that I can't join, the injustices that I have to face. I think for me, how movement shows up in solidarity is sometimes you are by the sideline, sometimes you're at the front line, sometimes you are busy reflecting, and all those things for me are movement. Even if you're at the sideline freezing and not being able to participate in the march, in the conversation, posting, hashtag this and whatsoever, I think you can still be part of the movement, and I wouldn't call that freezing. I would call that still participating and still being part of the sideline. And there's times that in my body, with my identity, I have to be by the sideline to protect myself. But I'm still part of the movement. The same way that at times when I'm at shows with Sejal, I perform often to a crowd that doesn't look like me. And we start our show with something in my melanin. I come from that resilience, make a difference. Something in my melanin, give me rise, give me shine, give me high. Something in my melanin, rooted in color and all my features. Heart, soul from my mother. Something for my melanin, makes moves and rewrites the rules. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Heard to the grapevine, this one's for you. Something for my melanin. So when I sing a song like that in front of a crowd, we end the show and someone's like, yo, I really like that melanin song. And oftentimes it wasn't the melanated person, or in a different way. And I think in that moment, I take that as a compliment, because I was like, hey, if you heard the lyrics in that song and you heard what I was singing about my melanin, then that was my movement that day. Maybe I wasn't at the march, but I marched in a different way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, is that question for me too? I don't know.
I don't know if you want to ask.
Yeah, well said, well said. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to consider, is like, there's also a difference between freezing and pausing. I think pausing is something, it comes in naturally in music, it happens naturally in art, in movement, in drama. Like, pause is a natural part. It's like kind of what like Dee was saying, like it's that silence between the boom bap that you feel that movement in. So if you're for me, there are moments where I have to pause with everything that's happening in the world, for me to pause to actually try to understand what's happening, try to differentiate like what's happening, and to not freeze, because for me, I guess maybe freeze could be like paralysis. When you feel so paralyzed by guilt, feel so paralyzed by what's happening that you don't know what to do and you do nothing at all. Whereas a pause can be a moment of like reflection. A pause can be a moment of like, let me feel the momentum, let me feel what's happening right now so I can see what the next thing is that I'm going to. So I would encourage you to feel pauses and embrace those pauses, but don't let paralysis get you down. Don't get guilt turn into something that freezes you, because that's not serving you. It's not serving anybody else. But a pause does. A pause does, if that makes sense.
We've got time. Do we have time for one more, Marga? Yeah? Yeah? One more question? Anyone? All right.
Hi, David. One thing I noticed, which we didn't really talk about in movement, is the loops, the loops, the loops. How do you think about the loops and how you break the loops and then get back to the loops?
Oh, you're talking about like the actual loop station? Is that okay? Oh, just in general, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the looping. I feel like it might sound a little repetitive, but I feel like the looping is sort of what I was saying about movement. It's trials. Like, I think that's when I kick it into my science hat of like, it's good to try. It's good to repeat. It's good to, that's what a hook is in a song. It repeats. It kind of gets in your head, and you're like, okay, now there's this like earworm of 1, 2, 3, on y va, because it's encourage you to, okay, let me revisit. Let me see what this looks like, but also knowing that a loop can look different. The same way that when you're doing trials in science, you get, one trial 1 is 1.12, the other trial 1.13, something changed, something shifted, and then you can loop again and see what happened between that 1.11 and 1.12 and differentiate that. So I feel my life has been a lot of maybe similar things, but actually all the time that loop reminds me to reflect and see different parts of it, different facets.
Well, actually, that's a cool way to think about it. I was to prep for the set today. I was like, oh, I've got to use my loop station because I'm not doing anything with Lady Jams or with Dee, so it's just me on my own. So I had to pull out my loop station, which I haven't used in a long time, figure out a beat that I was gonna like play on top of. So that was the first track that I did. But the loop station is cool in that because the song that I played today, the first one, is kind of new. It's kind of weird, but being able to loop, not just the station itself, like loop a line on there, being able to like come back and try singing something a different way that I didn't anticipate or that I didn't practice doing it last night, like that is what that allows for me. So like this process today, even though I'm performing for you all, this is a process in the movement of that song for me and how it's going to turn into something different. The conversation that we've just had is most likely going to influence how that song comes out again in the future. And it's because, I can loop it, I can revisit it, I can revise, I can come back and be like, I'm going to sing this one note a little different and give you a different feeling in your chest when you hear it the second time, but that's like that's the collaboration side of it, that's the evolution side of it. So maybe next time I perform this, I'll list you all as like co-creditors or whatever, Kidding.